Hey there, welcome to the Uplift. I'm Tony DeCopa. We got a great show for you. A 13-year-old boy was given just one wish, and he made a selfless choice that may surprise you. Then a bride who has used a wheelchair for 11 years gives her groom a very special wedding surprise. Plus, a rapper keeping the school store well-stocked, and the father-daughter duo taking RV trips to help other families in need. All of that, plus the most heartwarming videos of the week. You're watching The Uplift. Welcome to The Uplift, the show that lifts you up for at least the next 30 minutes. We guarantee it. And we're going to start with a wish. If you got just one wish and you could choose anything at all, would it be to help other people? Don't answer that, because one 13-year-old boy from Mississippi answered it himself with a selfless choice. Our Caitlin O'Kane has more.
Last year, 13-year-old Abraham Olabegi found out he was born with a rare blood disorder and needed a bone marrow transplant. About a year later, he found out better news. His transplant was successful, and he qualified for Make-A-Wish. Abraham wanted a long-lasting wish, so he decided to feed the homeless.
Immediately, I told my husband, I said, guess what Abraham wants to do with his wish? And he said, what? And I said, he wants to feed the homeless. And my husband said, great, let him do it. That's awesome. So, of course, we weren't gonna, miss an opportunity like that, because we've always tried to instill giving into our children.
In September, Make-A-Wish helped Abraham and his family feed about 80 people in Mississippi.
When the homeless people get the plate, some of them will come back and sing to us and thank us. And it just really feels good. It warms our heart. It just really feels good. And my parents always taught us that it's a blessing to be a blessing. So
his wish is still not fulfilled. Make-A-Wish will help Abraham feed the homeless every month for a year. And when that's done, Abraham hopes to continue on his own, making a nonprofit, Abraham's Table.
We're just very excited to be able to continue on this endeavor. It is just, it's so rewarding. If I was out there on the streets homeless, I would want somebody, at some point to think of me and to do something special for me. So that's what I try to instill in my kids. And so we just try to pay it forward by doing, what we were raised to do.
Many kids learn to ride a bike when they're little, but for some kids with disabilities, that childhood rite of passage can be a little bit harder. So one man in Louisiana rode in with an idea. Get it? Janet Shamlian has more.
For Kaya Roach, distance is measured in the smallest of increments.
Come on, you can do it.
Born with cerebral palsy and epilepsy, crawling is her only independent mobility at 4 years old.
What has this been like for you?
It's been hard knowing that she may never be able to walk and be like the other children, but she's still Kaya, and that's all that matters to me.
Amanda Roach is decidedly positive.
Come on, move your feet. Let's walk.
She'd love for Kaya to take part in activities like her friends.
I'm hoping one day she'll get there.
What mother and daughter are about to discover one day is today.
Okay, we'll tighten up a few things.
Louisiana retiree Andrew McClendon is surprising Kaya with an adaptive bike, specially built for her unique needs. In this case, an extra wheel and straps to help keep her upright.
Look at that. Look at that.
It's the 430th he's donated after gifting the first one to a family friend 13 years ago.
The neighborhood kids thought this bike was the coolest thing they'd ever seen. They loved it. And it's all about that inclusion thing. And that's when I knew this is it. This is what we need to do.
Initially self-funded, and now with the help of donations, McClendon has created hundreds of moments like these.
I've never seen that. I've never seen it.
What is it?
A bike! And I think I can ride that.
For Kaya, it's a stride toward independence.
What's it like for you when you see that moment, when the child sees his or her bike?
It's everything. It's what life is about.
Later in the day, bike number 431 is going to Max, who has neurological issues, including cerebral palsy.
What is it? A bicycle.
Built to suit each child's needs, the cycles cost several $1,000s.
It is a big bike!
Out of reach for many families, strained by medical bills from multiple doctors and medications.
I think it will help strengthen his legs, his core, and just build his muscles and let him just be a kid.
The things that I get to see with these families and these children is a gift. It's an absolute gift. And it's not lost on me, and I'm very grateful for it. And subsequently, I'll do this forever.
A set of wheels. But for all it offers children like Max, it might as well be a pair of wings.
Thank you.
Nothing beats a bike ride. Well done there as well. We all hope that the people closest to us know how much we love them. And we've got a video here of a toddler who definitely made sure his big brother knew. Rome's brother Brendan was going back to college after a visit home, and this is how little Rome said goodbye.
Rome, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I love that little spirit. Looks like the cake is pretty good, too. All right, our next story is about Manfred Steiner, who retired at 70 years old but did not want to slow down completely, so he started taking some college courses here and there, maybe 2 a year. Nearly 20 years later, those classes have led to something so much bigger. Again, here's Caitlin O'Kane.
Graduating from an Ivy League school is a huge accomplishment for anyone, and getting your PhD at one is also a feat. But for Manfred Steiner, earning a PhD in physics from Brown University is monumental.
I said, this is my dream. Always was my dream, physics. I wanted this, to be a physicist.
Since he was a boy in Vienna, Manfred wanted to study the subject. Instead, he pursued medicine, earning his first PhD in biochemistry. He became a hematologist, researching blood disorders at Brown and treating local patients. He even became the head of the hematology section of Brown's medical school. But when he retired at 70, instead of taking a break, he looked toward another goal, going back to school for physics.
1 or 2 classes a semester was enough for me. And so I went through all the classes, and eventually I made it out to graduate school. And then I said, well, why not continue now? But might as well get the PhD.
At 89, Manfred completed his dissertation, officially earning a PhD in physics.
I was elated. I was really, I said, I made it. I really made it.
As for a third PhD, he has no plans.
There are other subjects that I was interested in, philosophy and history, but I said, no, it's enough. Now I've reached what I always wanted. Now I want to do it. I know I'm 90, going to be 90 soon, but physics is what interests me, and this is what I want to end my life with.
Grammy-nominated rapper Gunna is trying to bridge the divide between the lifestyle he now enjoys and the way he lived when he was growing up. Mark Strassman shows us how Gunna is bringing a spirit of generosity to a place he knows well.
Atlanta's Ronald McNair Middle School teaches about struggle. Lots of kids come from single-parent homes. They're old enough to realize what families like theirs live without.
They're mad. And they're not mad at us. They're just mad at the situation that they just left.
Principal John Madden told us every student here qualifies for free or assisted meals.
Hunger is a challenge.
Clothing?
Clothing, resources.
You have a number of families barely hanging on.
We have over 900 students, and there's over 900 struggles and challenges. And we have to deal with that.
Right next to the gym, this space softens the stress. It opened this fall. Gunna's Drip Closet, stocked with groceries, snacks, new sneakers, and clothes, all free.
You heard of Gunna?
I have heard of Gunna through my children.
Okay.
Yeah, I did hear of Gunna.
Because kids will keep you connected.
Oh, most definitely, yes. You have to stay connected in middle school.
Gunna is a Grammy-nominated Atlanta rapper. When his mother told him, never forget where you come from, he listened.
I was a cool kid.
Oh, you were?
Right.
That cool kid was born Sergio Kitchens and eventually went to McNair Middle School.
Was money tight?
We weren't doing no splurging.
It was a struggle.
For sure.
Do you see yourself in some of these kids?
Most definitely.
Gunna is now 28, but he tricked out this store as though he was 14 again.
Everything that's in here, all of these are like some of my go-tos.
So you were on top of the Swiss rolls when you...
For sure.
Everything in here restocked weekly. He pays for all of it.
I like
Air Jordans.
Air Jordan.
Yeah.
Put them a whole grocery store in there. Just fill it up all year. Make sure they got clothes, shoes, though.
You got jeans, you got sneakers in there. Why was that important to you?
That's stuff I wanted when I was a kid. Like, that I know, like, I couldn't just go to my mama and ask for.
But McNair's kids and parents can go to Gunna's closet.
They're provided a bag, and whatever they fit in the bag is theirs.
They go home with?
They go home with for free.
Like Jasmine King's two girls, Deonesty, an 8th grader, and Janila, a 6th grader.
Yeah, I got this sweater.
Do the kids see it as a cool thing?
Yes.
They do?
Yeah, it's not like, oh, your mom must be poor.
What is it?
It's a positive thing.
And they got the Vans.
It is to their mother. This was her family's second trip to the closet. Groceries for their table, clothes on her daughters.
That was the first thing that she wanted.
Yeah, this is my favorite color.
I was shocked. Really was shocked.
And the price is right.
Right. It's absolutely right.
What kind of a difference did that make for you?
A huge difference, because it took a load off of my shoulders. When I walked into the store to know that I had that burden lifted.
For a couple of weeks, you could breathe easier.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Gunna's goal all along.
You know how many moms like, at home like struggle but don't ask. So you just gotta just find it in your heart to just try to give back and just help others, especially if you can.
What are you getting out of this?
This is what you say you're gonna do. Me being a man of my word, me just being solid. That's what I did it for.
Gunna's Drip Closet also offers free life lessons. Live up to your promises and listen to your mother.
Some good advice there. I love everything about that story. Well done, Mark Strassman, and well done, Gunna. When we come back, the bride who not only stunned her groom, but all of her wedding guests with her walk down the aisle, plus a father and daughter connecting with each other on an RV trip while they help other people. You're watching The Uplift. Chelsea Hill was paralyzed 11 years ago, and she led her fiancé to believe she'd be going down the aisle in the same wheelchair she'd been using to get around. But for 6 months before the wedding, she was secretly practicing for something else. Caitlin O'Kane has that story.
When she was a teenager, Chelsea Hill was a passenger in a drunk driving accident. She was left paralyzed from the waist down, but she didn't let her disability stop her from living life to the fullest. And this year, she married her fiancé, Jay Bloomfield. Chelsea has committed her life to inspiring others, and on her wedding day, she did just that. She decided she wasn't going to roll down the aisle like she originally planned. She was going to walk, using leg braces.
I've stood up before with the leg braces. I've walked around with them, but nothing like with a long dress on and not being able to see my legs. So I had to practice for about 6 months with the leg braces in order to really know that I could stand there and walk with my eyes forward and not fully at the ground the whole time.
Chelsea was nervous for her big day, but she was determined to walk to Jay at the end of the aisle. She said it was difficult, but walking down the aisle to her groom was everything she dreamed of as a little girl.
He was turned around facing away. Everyone was facing away. And our officiant said, okay, you may turn around. And when he turned around, he like dropped. I remember looking at him and just being like, I did it, like I'm here, like I did it.
She only had eyes for Jay, so she didn't realize what was going on around her.
The entire hotel balconies were completely full with people standing there like this. So I didn't know that. When I was walking down the aisle, like every one of our guests like faded away and it was just Jay and I.
Chelsea said for some people, walking isn't the world, but for others, walking isn't an option. No matter what, she wants people to know they can make their wedding special, no matter their abilities.
I want people to know that love is love, and love is not discriminatory against what you look like or how you talk or anything like that. And I just hope people look at it and go, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And if that's something that you want and that's something that's important to you, then go for it.
The lovely couple, definitely a walk to remember. When we come back, a dad and his 9-year-old driving RVs around to give other families a place to live. Plus, our most viral videos of the week. You're watching The Uplift. Most toddlers just toddle around. That's where the word comes from. But one dad said if his son could walk, he could skate. Now he's cruising around on a skateboard with a pacifier still in his mouth. That's how young he is. The father-son duo from Argentina have been sharing their skateboarding adventures on Instagram. For a 1-year-old, I have to say, pretty impressive. Better than I could do. Musical superstar Mark Anthony spotted an eye-catching sign in his audience recently. It said, I'm 95 years old. I survived Hurricane Maria. I survived COVID. And I want to dance with Mark Anthony. Well, of course, he had to invite that grandmother up on stage to make that dance dream come true. And there it is. Pretty good moves, I have to say. Again, better than I could do. Now to a baby experiencing a truly remarkable first. You're gonna wanna hear this. Gigi, who was born deaf in one ear and hard of hearing in the other, heard her parents' voices for the very first time. Take a look.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Oh my goodness.
Hey.
What do you think?
You like him?
Yeah, that's a good smile. We got smile.
The moment the 4 senses became 5, it's just a beautiful, beautiful video. Her dad, Levy, wrote that he has gratitude for modern technology that has brought us this beautiful moment. When we come back, the father-daughter duo bonding with each other on an RV trip and also helping other families that need a little shelter. You're watching The Uplift. Now to the story of a dad and his 9-year-old daughter who have teamed up to provide shelter for those in need, and in doing so have gotten to bond over RVs and RV trips. Love to hit the road. Jamie Wax has their story.
Should we get a snack, or are you doing okay?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't know.
Some healthy vegetarian gas station options?
Yeah.
Woody Faircloth and his 9-year-old daughter Luna are getting used to life on the road.
Look at how beautiful this is. It really is pretty.
For the last 3 years, they've been taking special trips to deliver RVs to families who've lost homes in wildfires. It's a mission they began after watching news of the deadly 2018 Camp Fire in California.
I turned to Luna, who was 6 at the time. She had no front teeth. And I said, Luna, why don't we get an RV and we'll drive it to California and give it to a family so they have a place to call home for Thanksgiving.
Luna, you said something very special right then at that Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I said, Dad, God and Santa Claus are going to be very proud of us.
And do you feel like God and Santa Claus are very proud of you?
Yes.
Faircloth began looking for RV donors and was amazed by how many people wanted to help with unwanted RVs or their time.
We have volunteers all over the country that have helped us. We have people right now that are answering emails and processing paperwork for these donations. I mean, it's just raise your hand and say, hey, I'd like to help. They can come home and make a home-cooked meal. And
Dad and daughter have personally delivered about 20 RVs to folks in need, mostly firefighters, first responders, and veterans. And he's helped arrange around 100 donations in all. But it's also been an opportunity to teach his daughter.
Oh, look at the palm trees.
Everywhere along their trips are reminders of the cost of these fires.
look at the ground, how it's just ash.
And they've developed a stronger bond.
It's been really special for the two of us, just to be able to spend that time together and to make a difference, just so she knows that it's not just about her and it's not just about me, it's about the people that we're helping. And, you know, we're blessed.
Oh my gosh, it's so, like, bumpy.
We joined them on a trip from Denver to Redding, California.
All right, now we're really in the home stretch.
Dun, 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 dun.
They were there to deliver a new home.
That's beautiful.
To Don George, a firefighter who lost nearly everything when his own home burned in the Fawn Fire this past September, while he was helping to save others' homes.
I went to the crew and I go, hey, I got to go check on my house, and it was already too late. My son says, I don't know how to tell you, but he just couldn't even talk. He didn't know how to say it. You know, go on.
George has been fighting fires for nearly 50 years. He's used to being the one doing the rescuing.
That your co-pilot?
His role changed when the Faircloths arrived.
I got keys for you.
Thank you.
I got a title for you.
When we visited George a few weeks later,
Look at the crown molding and everything. It's like...
I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous.
he'd received a second donated RV so that his adult sons who lived with their parents could also have a place to live.
All I can say is thank God for Woody. You couldn't ask for a better man. He came just exactly the right time for me, renewed my faith in mankind. Man, if there was more people like that, we'd have a beautiful world.
All these families, we feel like they're part of our family now, and we stay in touch, and we hear their stories and share their successes.
You continue to be a community.
Absolutely.
And the experience has also helped a little girl grow wise beyond her years.
What makes you most proud?
That I've made a really big change in the world for a lot of people.
Do you want people to see this and decide, children and adults, that they can do the same thing?
Yes.
What can we all do to help make that happen?
Just be nicer to each other.
Wise words and proof once again that when you do something for others, you're also doing something for yourself. That's our show. I hope it brightened your day and lifted you up. If it didn't, go ahead and play it again. Maybe it'll work that time. We'll see you next time on The Uplift.